is this a potential bottom area for Bitcoin? As we have noted in September, didn't really go anywhere, whereas the rest of the market capitulated quite a bit. I'm kind of wondering, we've talked about that $13,800 mark for a while now, and Don's also pointed out $10,000 is on his radar. But I think that there's a case to be made with the $20,000 area, especially if we see some sort of lightning here on interest rates. Now, you can make the argument that the markets are moving down because of jobs numbers, and that's going to be a slowing of growth there. But I would argue, too, that the slowing in payroll going up could also mean that the Fed ends up not going as aggressive as they have perceived to. Now, there is no indication that they are going to do that. I think that it's going to be all systems go, and I'm not going to deviate from that until the Fed says so. But I think that there's certain arguments you can make that maybe just maybe that we could see Bitcoin's the bottom here around that $19,000, $20,000 mark, given the amount of interest that's going into Bitcoin at the moment.
I don't think this is the bottom. I think we're just going sideways for a bit. I think it's going to get a lot of people to think that. Then we send it south. There was something I even tried getting Peter's intake on this. Is there's a lot of leverage and a lot of margin calls happening at the 15K mark. There was an article or something about it. I shared it in the Discord chat with you guys. It was just more of a headlines thing for me. But when I see stuff like that, I just see a whole lot of pieces being moved on the board, and that's how manipulation happens. Is get people excited. It's going sideways, and that's all it has done is go sideways. So I don't like to get my hopes up when the market goes sideways like this. That's actually when I pump the brakes and pull back. Let them show me their cards first before I make my move. I like making moves and all the excitement. You can definitely read emotions at that point. You can watch the bounces when it goes sideways and it's quiet, like squeaky wheel gets the grease. I'm hiding for a little bit.
Yeah, and I think that that's still very much on the table, but I think that completely disregarding the possibility that this could be the bottom also may not be, I don't want to say the smartest idea, but also I don't know, are we going to completely rule out that this could potentially be a bottom? I don't think that we should.
So what if I wait for a green candle, then I buy it at 23 or 24 versus 20?
Well, if it starts breaking resistances, then I think you'd have your answer.
Yeah. At that point, then I'll buy. But until we get out of this, that's what I'm saying. Wait for them to show me their cards first.
Right.
It's negligible the difference I'm going to get versus if I take that head-on risk now and it gets chopped in half. Which, by the way, I do buy Bitcoin every week, so I'm not entirely worried like that.
Right.
But what are you really missing? You buy it now and it gets chopped in half to 10. You wait to 24 and buy it, and you're
right. So when would you say that the bottom is in? So I agree with you that I think we are going to go a little bit lower than where we are now. I think we'll definitely see about a 1,700. That is my opinion.
1,700.
Sorry, 17,000.
All right, you just upped the ante.
That is my opinion. But at what point, so if Bitcoin, say, does continue this upward trend, even for about, say, 6 months, it's kind of sideways, maybe slightly upward, and then it tanks back down, when can we say that the bottom is in and that we're only going up? What are you looking for in terms of, hey, this is still sideways, I don't call bottom yet?
More green candles than red. Once that trend actually changes. So we have more red candles than green, just to keep it simple. That's what brought us down in here. Now we're going sideways.
Why don't you show us the chart, Don? What time frame are we looking at here?
This is the daily. The point I was making, so more red candles than green, it's pretty simple. It's going down. More sellers than buyers. But then we went sideways, so that kind of just takes it off. Like until we even break like the previous candle, we couldn't even get that. Sideways, let's just hang out. Then it does just break to the downside. What this looks like, I can draw it out and sell you guys on a bearish position because it is lower highs. Kind of the same thing we've done. And this is almost what Tamp described. Sideways, we did pop up a little bit and then it broke right back down. And I think we're about to do the same thing here. The colors are different. The colors are, the purple is a weekly time frame, which playing out pretty well on these blue. I didn't expect to actually get stuck here as much as we did, but we'd have to at least get above that. It kind of take it one level at a time, but until we even break above this, we can't really talk about being bullish because everything in there is just sideways. So until we get above at least this point right here, all that is, if we don't get above this point, all that is a lower high. So it gets up to 22,000 and that's it. That's a lower high. Gets up to 24. That's still just sideways. So no real buyers actually showed up. So at that point, I don't want to jump in a pool if I'm the only buyer.
Yeah, I agree with this completely. And for those of you that dollar cost average or DCA, just keep doing what you're doing right now. And for those of you who might not, who don't dollar cost average religiously, but want to bite every now and then, I think it's fair to go ahead and nibble right now. Take a little bit of money off the table and get some Bitcoin right now, but don't don't blow everything, because I do think we'll see a little bit of a lower leg, and you can deploy a little bit more capital at that point. But I mean, is it possible, Don, that we could trend sideways like this for another 6 months?
How long was this sideways right there?
That's from July of 19 to October of 20.
There you go.
Yeah, so
Look
there's
good.
a year,
A year and
14
change.
months.